Another brush similar to the one that we did for the chain is going to be employed here, but with some slight modifications to it. And that is right here, way up in this billboard, we see some embroidery right here on this little cloth placed over a dresser somewhere. This little embroidery here is what we're going to cover now. And basically this is being done with a specialized brush. I'm going to go in here and create that brush. Very similar to what we did for the chain, except this time it's going to be a little rougher. We're going to go in there and use a very simple brush, hard edge brush, nice and small, good size like that, and even smaller. There we go, and make sure there are no settings for it. Actually, we could even add a little bit of a setting to it, just a tiny bit, just to roughen up the edge just a little. So I'm going to just give it a slight size jitter so it's not such a solid line. I'm going to go in there and create this little shape like so. There it is. It's that simple. Or we can even maybe just make it even less pronounced, more like that. That's even better. Okay, so it starts to look like a single stitch. Now, the fact that it's so irregular there could hurt us in a way, but it'll be okay. We'll just kind of clean it up a little bit, just make it a little bit even, and so on. Let's get rid of that last one. That's not good. There we go. So that's good, right there. I'm going to select that and turn that into a brush preset. And we'll call this embroidery. All right, so now we can throw it away. And we're going to get a nice little pattern here that we're going to create for that embroidery to follow. So it's going to take this little shape that goes like so, and then it's going to loop around like that. And then there'll be another one inside here, which will look like that. And then maybe another one that comes in this way. So we're just going to create a bunch of shapes inside here. And then another one that's going to come around and engulf this whole thing this way, like that. Just some design. Now, I'm going to set up a layer right there, and I'm going to get that brush and pick that brush we just created, which appears at the end here. Now, right now, it's doing that. So we're going to go in there, and in the brush panel, we're going to give it a little more spacing. So there we have a little separation, seeing the individual stitches. We're going to go into Shape Dynamics, where we're going to set up a size jitter, a very slight one. Let's bring this back down. And we're going to do a very slight size jitter, just a little bit, see, so that they're slightly different. And then the angle, I'm going to just give that a little bit of a touch, 2%, just so they start to angle off. And I'm going to set this to direction, so they are going to follow all my little stitching angles that I've set up there. So now that we have that, I'm going to go in there and reduce the size of my brush a little bit to the size that I want. And I can take those paths and now go ahead and stroke them. And we see that we have this embroidery. And anything I do on top of this is going to follow that same kind of a feel. So we can see that we're getting some pretty cool little stitching that looks like that.